Imagine being locked in a cold stone cell beneath the world's most magnificent arena. Above you, the cheers of 50,000 Romans are fading as the sun sets. Your husband just died fighting a lion for their entertainment. Now the torches are dimming and you hear heavy, blood-stained footsteps approaching your door. A shadow fills the entrance, the gladiator who survived the day's slaughter. This wasn't a horror movie. This was a Tuesday in the Roman Empire. Welcome to the history they don't teach in schools. While Hollywood focuses on the honor of combat and the glory of the rebellion, there is a far more sinister reality that began once the crowds went home. We are exploring a state-sponsored system of industrialized cruelty, a nightmare documented by Roman writers and etched into the very stones of the Colosseum. Modern historians have a term for it, Victoria Carnalis, or the carnal victory. To the Romans, however, it didn't need a special name. It was simply the logical conclusion of conquest. Today, we go beneath the sand to uncover how the Roman government operated a bureaucratic system that transformed conquered women into war prizes, handed out like rations to the heroes of the arena. This is the story of how an empire perfected the industrialization of violence when no one was looking. To understand the horror, we must first understand how Rome viewed human beings. This wasn't random cruelty, it was a factory assembly line for suffering. When Roman legions crushed a rebellion in Gaul or Judea, the entire population was processed. Men were sent to the mines, children to slave markets, and women were designated as Captiva, state property. Under Roman law, these women weren't legally human. They were res, meaning things, no different from furniture or livestock. You cannot commit a crime against an object, and this legal loophole allowed the state to do the unthinkable. The cruelty wasn't always hidden. During the midday lull, when the elite left for lunch, the arena hosted mythological reenactments. Prisoners were forced to act out famous myths where the deaths were terrifyingly real. The poet Martial describes a prisoner dressed as Orpheus, expected to charm a bear with a lyre. Instead, the bear mauled him to death while spectators ate their snacks. More disturbingly, women were forced into reenactments involving public assault by animals, such as the myth of Pasiphae. This wasn't a one-off event, it was standard operating procedure, attended by senators and children alike. Gladiators occupied a strange place in society. They were infamous slaves with no rights, yet they were the superstars of their day. Their sweat was sold as an aphrodisiac, and noble women risked scandal to visit their barracks. But the Roman state lived in terror of them as well. After the Spartacus rebellion, where 70,000 slaves nearly burned Rome to the ground, the government realized they needed a way to control these dangerous men. They used a mix of brutal punishment and calculated rewards.
Beyond extra food and prize money, the privileges of the victor included access to the Captiva held beneath the arena. Documentation shows a chillingly bureaucratic process. A gladiator, still covered in the blood and sand of his victory, would be escorted by an official into the Hypogeum, the underground network of the arena. The physical evidence is damning. In the 19th century, archaeologists excavating beneath the Colosseum and the amphitheater in Capua found specialized chambers that served no logistical purpose. These small rooms featured stone benches at specific heights and iron rings anchored into the walls. Desperate fingernail scratches are still visible on the stone today. The women held here were cataloged in ledgers by officials called commentarii. They were assigned numbers based on their origin, Germanica, Britannica, or Parthica. Graffiti found in these cells tells the stories the history books ignored. One inscription in crude Latin reads, "I was Aemilia of the Brigantes. I saw my children killed. Now I am nothing." Another in Celtic pleads, "To any god who listens, let me die before tomorrow." This system was a deliberate strategy of psychological warfare. By humiliating conquered women, Rome sent a message to the survivors: you have lost your sovereignty, and you cannot even protect your family. It was designed to break the spirit of resistance so thoroughly that future generations would never dare defy the empire. This abuse continued for centuries, even after Rome's conversion to Christianity. The games only ended when the empire collapsed and the supply of human resources finally dried up. Today, the Colosseum stands as a monument to architectural genius, but every stone was bought with lives destroyed in the most systematic ways imaginable. The spectacle on the sand was only the half of the story Rome wanted us to see. The other half remains in the shadows, in the scratch marks on the walls and the silent ledgers of the archives. If we are to truly understand history, we must be willing to look into its darkest corners. We must listen to the voices that weren't supposed to be preserved. If this investigation into the hidden reality of the Roman Empire has changed how you view the past, share this story. We must ensure that the names lost to the machinery of empire are finally remembered. Join us as we continue to uncover the truths that time tried to erase.